Hello students, in this video you will find variation of molar conductivity or equivalent conductivity with dilution or with concentration of weak electrolyte. Point number 1. Weak electrolytes like acetic acid, ammonium hydroxide, hydrogen cyanide, etc. dissociate partially or dissociate to smaller extent in solution to produce low concentration of free ions. Therefore, the solution of weak electrolyte has much low molar conductivity. Second point, when concentration of weak electrolyte solution is decreasing or dilution increasing, then molar conductivity of the solution also increases. With decrease in concentration or increase in dilution, molar conductivity increases. And at infinite dilution or at high dilution and much less concentration, there is sharp increase in the molar conductivity of weak electrolyte. Because at high dilution or much less concentration, the degree of dissociation or dissociation of weak electrolyte increases sharply to produce high concentration of free ions. Therefore, there is steep rise in the molar conductivity of solution of weak electrolyte. When a graph is plotted between molar conductivity of electrolytic solution and square root of its concentration, then the graph is not a linear function of its concentration. The graph is not a straight line. In the graph, it is clear that once molar conductivity is increasing slowly, then increases sharply at high dilution or much low concentration. But the graph does not approach, the plot does not approach the molar conductivity axis. Hence, we cannot obtain the molar conductivity at infinite dilution of weak electrolyte by extrapolating the graph of molar conductivity versus square root of concentration. It can only be obtained by indirect method, that is Kohlraasch law of independent migration of ions. Now next point about Kohlraasch law. In 1875, Kohlraasch studied the values of molar conductivity at infinite dilution of a large number of electrolytes, and he found that the difference between the value of molar conductivity at infinite dilution for the pairs of electrolyte containing common cation or common anion is always constant and is independent of the other ions present in that pair of electrolyte. Based on this one, I am going to tell you some examples. One example, like a pair of electrolyte containing sodium and potassium ion, like NaCl, sodium ion, KCl, one pair, or NaNO3, KNO3, second pair, NaOH, KOH, third pair. These pairs of electrolyte containing sodium and potassium ion have the difference between molar conductivity at infinite dilution always constant. Difference between the molar conductivity at infinite dilution, like this one 23.41, 23.41, 23.41. In these pairs, sodium and potassium ions are present, and the difference between the value of molar conductivity at infinite dilution, difference between these is constant. Molar conductivity at infinite dilution of NaCl and KCl, difference is this. Molar conductivity at infinite dilution between NaNO3 and KNO3 is also coming same. Molar conductivity at infinite dilution of NaOH and KOH have same difference. Then another example, chloride and bromide. Also sodium chloride, sodium bromide, potassium chloride, potassium bromide, ammonium chloride, ammonium bromide. The difference between the value of molar conductivity at infinite dilution between these two is 2.06. Here in these two is also difference between KCl and KBr is also coming 2.06. Here also difference between the value of limiting molar conductance at infinite dilution is also coming same. Or another third example, chloride and iodide, NaCl, Nai, 0.4 molar conductivity at infinite dilution, value between NaCl and Nai difference is 0.4. The difference of molar conductivity between KCl and Ki is also coming 0.4. Based on this observation, he concluded that each ion in the electrolyte makes a definite and independent contribution to the molar conductivity of electrolyte at infinite dilution. And based on this conclusion, Kohlrausch gave a law known as Kohlrausch law of independent migration of ions. It can be stated as at high dilution or at infinite dilution, the molar conductivity of an ion is independent of the nature of other ions with which it is associated in the electrolyte, and the molar conductivity at infinite dilution of electrolyte is equal to the sum of the limiting molar conductance or molar conductivity at infinite dilution of cation and anions with each conductance term multiplied by the number of respective ion present in the formula unit of electrolyte. Mathematically, here molar conductivity of a substance equal to molar conductivity at infinite dilution of cation plus molar conductivity of at infinite dilution of anion. It can also be written as molar conductivity at infinite dilution number of positive ion into molar conductivity at infinite dilution plus number of anion at infinite dilution. Some other example like HCl, molar conductivity of HCl. Molar conductivity of HCl can be expressed as molar conductivity at infinite dilution of HCl can be written as because here HCl produces H plus Cl minus. Then molar conductivity equal to molar conductivity of cation at infinite dilution according to Kohlraasch law, molar conductivity of anion at infinite dilution according to Kohlraasch law. Another example, BaCl2. BaCl2 Ba2 plus 2Cl minus. Then molar conductivity of BaCl2 or we can write that way, molar conductivity at infinite dilution for BaCl2 equal to molar conductivity of barium ion at infinite dilution plus molar conductivity of chloride ion at infinite dilution. Like that, molar conductivity of acetic acid, suppose you want to calculate, then COOH produces CH3COO ions plus H plus ions. We can show this way, molar conductivity of acetic acid at infinite dilution equal to molar conductivity of cation plus molar conductivity of acetate ion at infinite dilution. According to Kohlraasch law, now we can write the molar conductivity of electrolyte by this way. This is about Kohlraasch law. Thank you.